The Mirror, written by Medha Sachiv. I was called Shaisha. I was very fair and beautiful. I was very proud of my beauty. Wherever I would go, I could see people spellbound by my beauty. I loved looking at myself in the mirror. My fair skin and chiseled features were a gift from God, and my parents too. Spending hours in front of the mirror, admiring myself had become my latest interest. Once, when I was busy admiring my reflections in the mirror, a thought came to my mind. I wondered, what would it feel like to be on the other side of the mirror? Only if I could go and see everything from the other side of the mirror, the experience would be so unique and exciting. Hardly had this thought escaped my mind, I was shocked by that. What I saw. My reflection in the mirror had held her hand out of the mirror, inviting me to get into the mirror. Without a second thought, as if in a trance, I gave her my hand and entered the mirror. When I looked at my room from inside the mirror, it looked familiar but still different. Dark objects appeared light in color and vice versa. My reflection in the mirror had vanished into thin air. I looked at my room and ventured into other parts of the house. Everything looked familiar, but the left and right sides had interchanged. I entered the kitchen. My mother was busy cooking, but when she saw me, she shrieked in fear. I was surprised at her reaction. I tried to go near her, but she just tried to be away from me. Hearing her shriek, my father entered the kitchen. When he saw me, there was a look of terror on his face. He tried to attack me, and I escaped from the room to save myself. I heard my parents talking to each other, but there was clear feeling of fear in their tone. They were discussing how a monster had entered their house. They were worried for the safety of their daughter. My reflection, who had helped me enter the side of the mirror and then vanished into thin air. I couldn't understand why they referred to me as a monster when I was their daughter's reflection and looked exactly like her. I thought I could just talk to them and convince them that I had come from the real world and they were just a reflection. I could hear their voice. I also heard a voice similar to mine joining them in the discussion. Maybe my reflection had gone to tell them the truth of my presence inside the mirror. So I again went into the kitchen. But on seeing me, all the three of them, my own as well as my parents' reflection, were terrorized. They shrieked in fear and tried to attack me. I knew something was terribly wrong. They would definitely kill me, but somehow I had to save myself. Again I escaped from the kitchen and entered my bedroom. They followed me with knives and sticks. I closed the door of my bedroom and locked it from inside. I heard my reflection's voice telling her parents that a dark and ugly monster had been ogling at her from the mirror from many months. Even after the mirror was replaced, the monster appeared again in the new mirror. But today, when she was standing near the mirror getting ready, the monster suddenly grabbed her hand and came out of the mirror. Fearing of her life, she left the room and hid behind the sofa in the hall. I wondered why they were referring to a fair and beautiful girl like me as a dark and ugly monster. Suddenly, as if an answer to my question, the vision of me looking at my room from inside the mirror flashed in my mind. I remembered when I had looked at my room from inside the mirror. It looked familiar but still different. Dark objects appeared light in color and vice versa. That was the reason why a fair and beautiful girl like me was referred to as a dark and ugly monster. And all those hours I had spent in front of the mirror admiring my beauty. My reflection in the mirror had felt that an ugly and dark monster was ogling at her from the mirror. All my life I had been appreciated and envied for my good looks and fair skin. I was finding it difficult to digest the fact that I was referred to as a dark and ugly monster. Sometimes later, I heard more voices from outside the bedroom door. The other voice seemed familiar. I recognized these voices. They were similar to my friends and neighbors. But the tone in their voices made me fear for my life. They were talking about a dark and ugly monster that had entered the house, and somehow it should be got rid of for their safety. I could hear them banging the bedroom door. My heart missed a beat at the thought of what they would do to me if they all entered the bedroom. My life was in danger. I looked around desperately for an escape route but found none. They all had almost broken the bedroom door when I saw the cupboard. I opened the cupboard door and entered inside the cupboard in a hurry. I heaved a sigh of relief and thought they all would not know where I had vanished. But I heard a click on the cupboard door. I heard my father's voice say that he had seen a part of the monster cloth stuck in the cupboard door and knew that the monster was hiding there. So he had locked the cupboard. I realized that a part of my dress had got stuck in the cupboard door when I had entered the cupboard in a hurry to save myself. Now I was trapped. It was dark, scary, and claustrophobic inside the cupboard, but there was no escape. Either they would keep me locked inside the cupboard forever, or they would definitely kill me if they opened the door. All these thoughts made it difficult for me to breathe. Weird thoughts ran through my mind. Was all this that happened to me real, or was it just a dream? I am still waiting for an answer.